What's going on, guys? Greg here once again, and welcome to another MyoBrain education. This week, much like last week, I wanted to touch upon something a little bit different than the basic nutrition physiology we've been doing on a lot of the earlier episodes. So this is going to be about post-workout breathing, kind of post-workout meditation. I have written some older articles about this. Something I bring up to clients here and there if they have some troubles with stress management. They kind of feel like a lot of anxiety and things like that. Something I don't think I've ever talked about in a video before or given really any specific recommendations. I think in the article I did recommend the post-workout time as a good introduction place for a lot of athletes. They kind of directly see the benefits of some sort of meditation or kind of mindfulness breathing, okay? So again, very, very basics of how you can do this and some very clear-cut benefits for it. So kind of the first thing we're talking about here, roughly 10 to 15 total breaths. So what I mean, kind of what I have up here is that it's not a very lengthy process. I think some people have the idea when they're doing something with breath work or meditation, it's 30 minutes, it's 10, 15 minutes even. They have to do an hour-long float tank. While those things can be obviously beneficial, I think this can also be beneficial where it's 1 or 2 minutes after a workout, you still can kind of get some of these benefits, okay? So again, the dose is very small, 10 to 15 full inhales and exhales, and really trying to focus on a very long exhale. So it's not something we do very good as people. Again, we're very probably quick inhales, quick exhales, never really get full exhales. So when you're doing this, again, I recommend just lying on your gym floor somewhere. You may look weird for a minute or two, but probably no one will even notice. And again, thinking about really big belly breath, much like you would take if you're gonna do a heavy squat or a heavy deadlift, big belly breath and very, very long exhale. Generally what I find too is as I get deeper into these breaths, like my 7th, 8th, 9th breath, the exhales becomes longer because I'm getting more relaxed, okay? So again, very simple, 10 to 15 breaths, focus on a very long exhale. If you wanna count the exhales, that's fine as far as aiming for 7 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever, but just try to make them long is a good starting place. Second thing is, okay, I have it down here is doing it quickly after training. So again, if you do your heavy squat session or you did a CrossFit Metcon or whatever you did that was very physiologically stressful for you, it's important to do this breathing work as soon as you can after that so you can kind of switch between your nervous systems here. So again, what I don't want people to do is do their hour-and-a-half workout, get in their car, be stressed out for 20 minutes driving home, get home, find something their dishes are dirty, so they're stressed out about that. And now you kind of try to do this breathing work half an hour after you've trained. You really haven't been able to get the full benefit of switching your nervous systems, okay? So try to minimize any barriers here with the second point and just do this as soon as you're done with training. Again, do your sets, do your reps, do your accessory work, whatever you're kind of training that you're doing. And then once you have some free time, whether it's post-workout stretching or doing a 5-minute walk, whatever you do, then you would just do this again before you even get into your car to go home or do your next activity, okay? So again, do it as soon as you can after training so you don't have anything else that's going to stress you out. Then again, on the third point here, again, this is kind of the physiological thing we're trying to get after. So anytime that we're training, any sort of training really that's not yoga or something like that, so running, CrossFit, powerlifting, bodybuilding, any sport that you play, you're going to be in a very sympathetic state, right? So that's that very fight or flight. You're going hard, your heart rate's up, you're using sugar and glucose as energy. Again, that helps you perform at a high level because again, you're aroused, you're ready to go. But this is not an ideal state to be in all the time. Ideally, we want to be in this only when we need to, and then we can switch back into a parasympathetic state, also known as kind of the rest and digest state, okay? So again, the problem a lot of people could have, and this is what I kind of mentioned in the article a few years ago now, is that you wake up and you're stressed out because you're running late and your clothes aren't ready, so you're in a sympathetic state. And you go to work, maybe you calm down for a little bit, but then you have a big project and your boss yells at you, so again, sympathetic state. Then you go try to eat lunch and there's traffic, so more sympathetic state. So your day could constantly be in a sympathetic state. So taking some time again after your workout, where you be naturally in this state, to kind of do these breaths will help you switch back into a more parasympathetic state. And as far as the actual like direct benefits that I've kind of seen, what make logical sense from doing some breath work are these big three ones. So appetite's a very big one. So some people don't have this problem, but like I definitely have this problem. If I have like a very hard session, especially if it's a lot of like conditioning work, I'm not immediately hungry after my session. So maybe not even like a few hours after my session, I still can't really like digest or feel good enough to have a real meal. I'll have to have like a shake or a baby food, fuel for fire, something like that to even get enough calories in. But I found when I started to do this breath work, again, just 1 or 2 minutes, once I got home, it was much, much easier for me to stomach like an actual meal. Okay, this makes sense because again, if I didn't do this, if I just went and did heavy squats and Romanian deadlifts and assault bike sprints and all that stuff, and then kind of like drove in my car, listened to rap music and again, more sympathetic stuff, when I got home, I'm not in a very good state to really eat food and maybe have a good appetite to digest that food. But if I took this time, now I get home in a more parasympathetic state, my appetite should be better. So if you're a person with sort of an appetite issue, whether you're doing like a double day session, you can't eat in between things, or doing like just one session, you don't really have an appetite afterwards. If that's a problem for you, I definitely think this is gonna be beneficial. So that's appetite. Again, overall, like stress markers, again, so if you're that person who you're doing like a 5:30 a.m. or a 6:30 a.m. session, and then you kind of work out for an hour or two, and then you go about your day where you have your job and your family, all those responsibilities. Again, taking this 10 to 15, or sorry, this 1 to 2 minutes to do this breath work can help you adapt and now move into your day in a parasympathetic state. So now all that little stuff like waiting in line for coffee and traffic and the printer being out of ink, all that little stuff that like shouldn't really get to you, it won't get to you, right? As opposed to sometimes if you're like doing a hard workout, you're out the door, you're still sweating, you're like busy and you're struggling with your time, things kind of will start to cascade upon you as far as things that generally stress you out. Okay, so even as a part of like your lifestyle factors, I think it can help you if you're an early morning workout person, as far as setting kind of the tone for your entire day. And then lastly, people who work out late-ish at night, so I would definitely fit in this category where I probably don't get home from the gym on most days, like 7 o'clock. Again, if you're someone who just trained for an hour or two and your heart rate's up and you're very triggered, if you're finished working out at say 6, 7, 8 p.m. and now you need to go to bed an hour or two, it really benefits you to shift as quickly as possible to this parasympathetic state, because again, that's when you're going to be able to not feel so restless, not feel like your brain is so triggered. So again, this is something you can do at the gym, that by the time you get home, now you can have a meal, you can maybe stay away from electronics, read, do your family time, and be ready to sleep, as opposed to, again, rushing home, like not having dinner. Maybe you're feeling really sluggish, maybe you're feeling like super awake and you can't really like calm down. That would be something good for you as well. So there's probably many other benefits you can get from this, but again, these are the 3 very big, obvious ones that I've experienced that again make logical sense from the physiology of switching from a sympathetic state to a parasympathetic state after training. So that's all I have for this video, guys. Again, I think this is a very low-hanging fruit activity for people. It is literally 1 or 2 minutes additional after your workout session. It's not a lot, 10 to 15 breaths. Really focus on the long exhale. Try it for a few days, try it for a few weeks, and be conscious of how it's affecting some of these other areas in your life. And again, the worst thing that can happen essentially is you try it for a week and you don't see any benefit, and you can stop doing it. But again, the best thing that could happen is maybe you try it, you realize that a 2-minute investment into your day can actually impact a lot of these other factors that you have problems with. So that's it, guys, for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and learned something. I'll have another one next week. As always, if you have ideas for future episodes, let me know. And that's it. Thank you.